All right, so you've done it. You've tried all the different diets and the exercises to lose weight. And now you're wondering why you aren't losing the fat that you want to lose. You know, a few Google searches later, you might find yourself down this rabbit hole believing that your metabolism is the cause of it. It's just not working for you. Therefore, you can't lose the weight. Well, the truth is, when you start to understand how the metabolism really works, then you can really start to fight the good fight. So that's what we're here to do today. So if you're new here, my name is Dr. Shane Oliverius. I'm the founder and owner of 3 Points Wellness and Weight Loss. And listen, we're really passionate and committed to just changing the way that people think in terms of weight loss. So with our proprietary systems, our patients lose an average of 28.86 pounds in just 42 days. Said another way, about 6 weeks, and those are mostly women. So if you like the idea of losing weight and doing it a real way, just hit the subscribe button and we'll keep on feeding it to you. If you're in the Kansas City area and you're looking at something completely different than anything you've ever tried, then I welcome you with open arms to come see us and experience how a different and completely unique approach can be the difference in finally getting back in touch with the person that you deserve to be. So in just simple terms, metabolism is how efficiently and effectively your body turns food into energy. Energy that you not only need to move your body, but energy that you require just for your body to run itself. So when you're just out and about doing your thing, your body is demanding most of the energy just from unconscious, subconscious functions. So things that you don't even need to think about. What we call autonomic or automatic physiological processes like breathing, like blinking your eyes, digesting, growing and repairing new cells. The beating of the muscle that is your heart, think about that. How much energy is that boy taking to pump blood all day, every day, since the day you were born, till the day you die? I mean, that is amazing. All under the miraculous system of controlling your nervous system. You don't have to put a single thought into it if you don't want to. So that's a pretty good deal because, you know, I personally don't want to have to think about my heart beating or, you know, if I stop breathing because I'm not thinking about it, I'm in trouble. So, you know, we got that going for us, right? So that's good. So what controls and maintains our weight then? Well, in short, it's your metabolism. I think you guys know that, and that's why you tuned into this. But, you know, that system, like I mentioned earlier, is in direct control of a master system called your nervous system. And it's coordinating and controlling all of your body's physiological functions, including your hormones. Yeah, I said it. You know, I said the word. But let's go ahead and dive into that. Let's talk about the hormones and how they relate to metabolism. Because if you can understand the basics of your hormones, then your metabolism is going to be in much better shape, meaning that you are going to be in much better shape. And that's what you're looking for. I've often made this comparison, especially when meeting with women patients, of one's hormones, that, you know, particularly a female's hormones, to an orchestra, a symphony. It's this beautiful, intricate, and complex array of all these fine-tuned instruments, and they're all working together and playing at different times and different sequences and at different volumes, all for the ultimate effect of making you feel the emotion of life, right? And when the music is playing and the arrangement is like it should be, you are experiencing life like it should be, which is, in my humble opinion, it's like a harmonious mixture of emotions and sensations. Ultimately, happiness, contentment, and joy. I mean, that's what you're looking for most, right? But the more we can get into balance with that and out of the sadness and the sorrow and the despair, the better. And if all things are equal, then we should at least be on neutral ground with all those, you know, in balance. But imagine a symphony where the conductor shows up all stressed out and his mind is a little, you know, all over the place, and he's maybe even a little drunk. And then the violinist, your lead violinist, it's like a wicked case of menstrual cramps, and she's got hot flashes so bad she can't even see the music on the page, and she's got a migraine. And it's just like all those key players being off, just those two really, and they're playing the wrong note, and the wrong tune, at the wrong time, the wrong volume, the wrong intensity, and it's just going to be very bad for everybody. It's going to be bad for future ticket sales, you know. So just those two things. And if they're like hormones, that's going to be like big time bad because the performance doesn't hit its mark. And in the case of your body, the performance never stops. It just keeps going and going and going. Your body doesn't get many breaks to go home, relax, kick its feet up in between performances, right? So since that is the case, it's very important that we know, as the ultimate conductor of our symphonies in our body, how to slow down the tempo and let things breathe. So slowing down the tempo and letting the music breathe, that seems to be a good metaphor or analogy, whatever you want to call it, for decreasing our stress levels. So here is the deal. When it comes to your metabolism, there are some key factors that can really, really, really affect how it will work for you. So I'm going to line out just a few of them so you can simply become aware of what they are. And if you'd like me to, in future videos, I can take a much deeper, more granular dive into each individual category, so just let us know if that's something you'd like. Here we go. Number one, medical conditions that affect your hormones. So imagine causing a problem with metabolism and that leading to weight gain. Could that be? That you might have a medical condition causing that? Absolutely. Shake your head yes, because we see it all the time in our busy practice. The main thing that comes up is hypothyroidism, or also known as many times Hashimoto's thyroiditis. Your thyroid, located right there, plays such a crucial role in energy balance and weight regulation. So it stands to reason that if it's dysfunctional or underfunctioning for any number of reasons, that your metabolism will suffer right alongside with your thyroid. So many of our patients have struggled with their thyroid, and they're continually told that their levels are fine and that it's working properly. And all the while they have really low energy. They can't even get out of bed sometimes. They're moody. They have sugar and salt cravings, and their hair's falling out, of course, and they're gaining weight, And maybe it's because they've been switched to a generic medications that their body doesn't agree with, or that their thyroid panel that was ordered isn't telling the whole story. Like mine, for instance, I was told for a couple of years that mine was normal, but I didn't feel right. It wasn't until I received a comprehensive panel that I found out that I had a very specific circumstance causing my thyroid to underfunction. In terms of my T3 levels, that was the real gas. It was just out of check, and it was horrible. So they got me on the medication I was supposed to be on, but that wasn't the right thing. It was a generic one. That was the one my insurance covered. I finally, got the answers, but boy, it took a long time. So don't give up hope. Just find the doctor, talk with the doctor, tell them, hey, I really appreciate a comprehensive thyroid panel with all these special things. If they're not willing to listen to you and, listen to your concerns and take a deeper dive along with you, then maybe it's time for a new doctor. Certainly get a specially trained endocrinologist if you're really having trouble with this thing, somebody that's can see this stuff all day long and knows exactly what they're looking for with the thyroid challenged person in mind. And speaking of that person, are these programs that we do here in our office, designed for that person? Absolutely they are, because my mother suffered with it, my sister, I have, so many of our people that work here on our team have suffered with thyroid problems. We understand it, and we can appreciate where you're coming from. Number two, and this is an easy one and potentially the very reason you're watching this video. The number two reason your metabolism is being affected is because you're simply overweight. What our special scale would say, would just call it over fat, or they would rank obesity in certain terms. It's like obesity 1, obesity 2. It's a no-brainer. You guys know that's causing this vicious cycle. And really what it is, it's your body's ratio of fat to lean muscle. So it's the proportion of that, and to a smaller, large degree, that's going to cause that, just one thing to overpower the other. It's a relationship struggle. In a perfect world, those things should be really well balanced, your fat to lean muscle. The scale shouldn't be tipped lopsided one side or the other. So, that's an easy one, but it's not so easy. So don't worry if you're having that trouble. That's why you're here. We're here to take care of you. You're going to find out the answers. All right, number three, guys, the granddaddy of them all, and I'm guessing the one that most doctors and certainly people having metabolism issues would agree with, at least once they admit this and once they understand it, is it's the one thing that is most affecting their metabolism and in turn their weight or their inability to lose weight. And it's stress. Yeah, stress. Imagine that. The thing that surrounds us and acts upon us like all day, every day to at least varying degrees. And stress comes in all forms and fashions. So it's really, it can be a good thing when it's regulated, but when it's unchecked and out of control, even for short periods of time, it can cause like major disruptions to your metabolism. Not to mention when it goes unchecked and minimized, like, yeah, it's not a big deal. You're thinking it's normal, and it's doing that for months and years or even decades at a time. And that's the absolute killer. So if it's not managed and checked in on, it's gonna cause some problems. It's gonna elevate the stress hormone you've undoubtedly heard of called cortisol, which in small amounts is okay, but it's devastating when it's absolutely flooding your body each and every day. So listen, this is such a huge topic that we'll undoubtedly have to make more videos to get like very granular on this topic of stress. It's so important because so many of you are being kept from losing weight because of this. You're being kept from living the quality of life that you deserve and desire because of this. And the topic is really near and dear to my heart, the stress topic, because I'm a 2-time cancer survivor. It's like I'm attracted to high stress situations. I had a couple of life-threatening cancer incidents. It was greatly exacerbated by stress I was under. Now, it turned out to be a gift because I learned so much through it, but I wouldn't want to go through it again. And I certainly wouldn't want any one of you to have to go through it. But the statistics aren't good. And because of the mental and emotional stress that we are constantly enduring, and not to mention the biochemical or what we might call toxic stress from things like processed foods or artificial foods and the things of the environment, those toxicants, and physical or traumatic stresses on our tissues. Going back to my thyroid issue, it was caused in large part to a repeated trauma of heavy ionizing radiation on my head and neck. Imagine 40 treatments geared at my head and neck to get, over time, over several weeks, designed to target this cancer that was deep beneath my thyroid, deep in here in my neck and my chest and all these lymph nodes. That's where it was going. But nonetheless, a dramatic example of how traumatic or physical stress can drastically impact your thyroid. It did that for me. It killed it off. To the point, I'm trying to make here is that you understand that stresses come in all forms and fashions and can absolutely be causing you to gain weight or not being able to lose it. And it's not just the neuro-emotional, mental-emotional stress that most of us think about that's causing the weight gain. Many of you likely already know or are aware that mental stress in your life is a huge friggin' problem, right? You know that. And it's been an enormous obstacle probably for some time. It's been the thing that's just been impeding you. But I'd be completely remiss if I didn't enter into this conversation with you and start bringing up the thing that isn't talked about nearly as much, the fact that stress comes in so many insidious and often overlooked forms. Again, don't worry, this is to bring awareness to this topic so we can learn and talk about what specific stresses you're enduring and then take action to implement tactics and strategies to minimize and mitigate the deleterious effects of those stressors. And beyond just saying to yourself, I hear this, I love this, but I'm too blessed to be stressed. That's a great affirmation. That's a great mantra. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I love that. The studies show the attitude and mindset split between the ears and above the neck. It's absolutely clutch when it comes to managing stress and losing weight, right? And in turn, it's absolutely critical to employ that mindset when you're going to be counterpunching all this stress that's being thrown back at you from this world, never more so than today. So look forward to some more of those insightful tips and strategies. There's so many easy ones like simple swaps that can help you reduce your stress. Get your cortisol in check. Finally be able to start moving in the direction you want to with your weight and get off that weight loss hamster wheel. So if you're still watching this video and you haven't tuned out, well, thank you, first of all. And second, will you do me a quick favor? Will you write in the comments if you're interested in learning about more of this stuff that I'm talking about? Some of these ancillary or complementary topics that I know will help you move the needle, just let me know. Let us know what those things are that you're interested in, and we're absolutely here to serve you and give you, whatever you need. Love your feedback, love your advice. So what are the key takeaways here? Well, I'd say it's that you're not alone in any of this. There are a lot of people who feel exactly like you do, who have felt like you're feeling right now, who are searching for or have found the help that they're looking for already. They were searching at one point. The great news is that once they got locked in, just like you're doing, to something good, they know it, they feel it, it's in their bones, they feel it in their soul, it's in their heart, and they pursue it. So if you're still watching this video, you better believe that you're one of those people. You're the type of person that doesn't give up, that keeps looking for the answers. You're not going to settle for BS answers from the mainstream or the traditional medical establishment, i.e., hey, you need to lose weight. You need to eat less and exercise more. And you're like, well, yeah, no shit, Dr. Diablo. I got that. How am I going to do that? So, and one last thing. Stay tuned. Just, like one more minute so you can see the 7 most common mistakes that people make when trying to lose weight.